Good evening, Sven here from Common Sense Survival. Yeah, back in the kitchen. It's pretty nasty evening out, and got to thinking about some different ways of using my alcohol stoves. Here I have the Trangia, and pop the cap off that. The Trangia alcohol stove. Over here I've got a couple of penny stoves that I've made out of aluminum cans. I showed you how to use that with the IKEA kitchen caddy the other night. Of course, our heat back there is our fuel, and we are featuring the Solo Stove Titan tonight. Okay, and we've got some pots back here. We have the over here the Zebra pot, 16 centimeter pot. Excellent heavy duty pot. And over here we have the Moore's bush pot, and I just got that here recently. It's got the butterfly handles. Nice little pour spout, real nice little pot. Over here, just a little coffee pot find at the dollar store. I think I paid 50 cents for that, and it's got the coffee brewer guts and everything inside of it. And over here we have a nice little pot. This is the Snow Peak kettle, and a nice pour spout. Got a little bit of water in that tonight, just for a demonstration. But I got to thinking, if you're in a very dry, arid type of environment, even though these Solo stoves are some of the safest stoves because they encapsulate your fire basically. But if you're on the go, an urban survivalist or whatever you want to call it, and you want to use an alcohol stove with this, I started thinking, how would I incorporate a alcohol stove with this? So I tested it out a few minutes ago, and I was like, well, I'll put my alcohol stove in there, and my height of the flame here was a little tall. So I thought, what could I put down in the bottom of my stove to raise my my stove up with? Well, figured, well, I'll put an Altoids tin in there. Okay. And then I can set my Trangia on top of that. And that brings the stove up considerably, that extra half to 3/4 of an inch. And now I have a much better contact of my flame to my stove. Excuse me. Now, of course, this is a wood-burning stove, but now what it has created is a very nice wind shield for my Trangia. Okay? Now, maybe you don't have something to space it up with. You could even use some twigs or a couple sticks of same size, and all you have, or all you have that you want to use is your Trangia or your penny stove at the bottom of your stove here. Then what I would do is, once again, your tent pegs, and I have found that if you put them at an angle like this, because they're at opposing angles, and you put your pot on there, they won't roll very much because they are at opposing angles. And this, once again, lowers your pot to your burner and creates a very nice windshield, basically, for your alcohol stove, because they can be a little bit finicky in the windy conditions, and they do need something to guard them. So this is kind of what I came up with, and we're going to light this up and see how it looks. We're going to go with not with this setup, but we're going to go with the Altoids tin and the regular cook ring and see how it goes here. So stand by. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, we've put our Altoids tin in here. We've already put a little bit of fuel in our Trangia. We've got her centered up there. We've got it on a firm base. We're out in the woods. You know what I'm talking about. And something I haven't mentioned here in the video is, you want to be very safe whenever you're messing with alcohol, spirits, or any kind of campfire. Always remember safety first. Things are going to get hot, very easy to get burnt. So, keep a glove or an oven mitt handy. And I'm just going to use a long reach. Light that up. We'll shut the light off here so we can see how it is performing. Trangia is a very quick igniting, as you can see. Comes to a full bloom quite quickly. Very nice burner. Okay, we're going to put the cook ring on there so we can see what it looks like. And the flame isn't too bad. We got our Snow Peak kettle here. Going to set that up there. And it's not doing too bad there. The flames are licking the bottom of the pan, and it could be a little bit lower, but not bad. And that's where the other setup comes in handy. Or if you have something just a little bit taller to space that Trangia alcohol stove up. Time we got there? I think it's getting late in the evening. We'll give this a couple minutes and see how this goes. I've only got a small amount of water in here tonight, just for a demonstration, and be right back with you. Flip the light back on, see what we got here. We already got some small bubbles forming at the bottom of the pan. I mean, this was like pretty quick. This was cold water out of the tap. Well, let's give that just a minute. We'll put the cover back on and be right back. See, it's 9:12. Stay tuned. Alright, that Trangia is really doing well now, and it is, once that alcohol got a little bit hotter, it was right up licking the bottom of that pot pretty nicely now, with spaced up with the Altoids can. And it is now 9:15 and come to a nice boil here. It's not a rolling boil yet, but very close. So about 3 minutes or so, about 3 to 4 minutes. Got about a cup of about 12 ounces of water here, and there's your rolling boil right there at about 4 minutes. So nice, Once again, this is the Solo Stove Titan. The Solo Stove with the Trangia alcohol stove modification. Spaced it up with the an Altoids tin. Up here we have the Snow Peak at a full boil, doing very nicely. So just another possibility of a very simple setup here with Sven from Common Sense Survival. I think I might just have me a cup of tea. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all have a good night. God bless. Sven from Common Sense Survival. Once again, the Solo Stove Titan and the Trangia alcohol stove. Appreciate you guys' support, and hope everyone has a good night. God bless. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. Thank you.